Our menu actually reflects our progress. That is neat. Before, it just depicted the tarp, the canvas being repeatedly revealed. Oh, it's even the loading screen. That's actually really cool. And the whispers still beckon me.
Oh, stop looking at me like that. It's just a little something to help me focus on my work, that's all.
Alright. There were a couple of times where we moved past that, but now we know. And we know that certain sketches are actually collectible. I'm so interested in the multiple endings facet of this. But anyways, hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Layers of Fear. Last time we began our journey into the house and, well, realized that our masterpiece is made of pieces of ourself, and while it's important to put yourself into your work, it's probably not usually meant like this. Something that I thought was really cool about the way this game started is how abrupt the transition to the surreal was, because I knew it was definitely going to happen in a game like this. But it actually just let us explore our messy but still fairly normal house for a while, and eventually we just sort of turned around and it was all like this. There wasn't a whole ton of fanfare behind it. I don't know, something about that I just found really refreshing. Even minor dodges of the tropes of this fairly worn out genre by this point. Having never played it, and only going by what I had heard, I had always thought of this game as sort of the example of a walking simulator with surreal and symbolic overtones. But having played a bunch of examples of this genre, it's actually a breath of fresh air in a lot of ways. But I suppose it's the one that helped build the tropes, alongside Silent Hill PT, of course. Form emerges. And there's our hint as to the next step. Memories we'd rather forget? Ooh, there's something over there. Rodent seeds. I see the dirt move. Rotten soil. Nothing else grows. It's like a rat tail. Although we can't pull it, and I'm not quite sure we'd want to. That is so cool. Now, I'm not sure what role these notes actually play, but we got an achievement when we found the first one in our room that said, like, find a rat sketch. Maybe we should tell Retskier about this game. Ah! Okay, maybe not. Maybe we keep this to ourselves. We have a lot of letters stashed away. Ugh. The piano is also chained. With her gone, maybe we never wanted to hear it play again. You see that? You saw that light from the wainscoting there for a second, right? I must say, though used sparingly, maybe because used sparingly, the music in this game is quite excellent as well. Huh. You're out there. Or you were. Oh my god! Oh, I thought you might do it! I thought you might! Do you guys have any idea how much fun I'm having being a brooding guy in his dark old house? I think I said that before. I'm gonna say it again. I'll say it again before this is over, too. God. Oh, an empty room with a spotlight. Nothing can go wrong in here, especially after what we just witnessed. Creator's block. Alright. Okay, it wasn't another jump scare. I've been through this so many times, it's weird to go through it in VR. Alright. Sooner or later, there's gonna be a jump scare. We just gotta wait for it. Okay. Oh, it's deteriorating even more. I just had such a good idea for a movie. Like, somebody moves into a house, it's very haunted, but they're so invested, and maybe they're even like me and just sort of into it, and so they just sort of view it as like a fun surprise every day. What's gonna happen next? Oh. Look at that, the shadow you cast makes you seem like a full-sized person. There's a key around your neck. Sorry, I'm just always ready for something to be there when I turn around. You're literally just doing stuff right in front of me now. That was actually wild. I don't know what this field of view, if it even really sold the illusion, but it was crazy to see. Like, by the time I perceived it, it was... Okay, let's start searching this stuff. Open. There's a readable document there. I like that it extends your reach a little bit. Like, as soon as the icon starts showing up, then we can sort of morph it into our hand. May 23rd. How can two people who once loved each other so fully, so profoundly, drift so far apart? My husband barely speaks to me anymore. He just slithers in and out of his study, obsessively working on one failed painting after another. He won't even sleep with me anymore. I can tell he's disgusted by me. The look he gave me the other day. That pathetic, hurtful look. A combination of shame, guilt, and repulsion. I've come to realize that I've become a monster in my husband's eyes. It feels like nothing a woman should ever experience. Still, being the good wife that I am, I decided to realize my husband's fantasy. If he thinks me a monster, I will sure as hell act the part. That is awful. So we weren't just grateful she was alive. We couldn't hide our resentment, our repulsion. And she very much picked up on that and decided to take it out on us. I can hardly blame her, honestly. Wait, that looks important. June 9th, new moon, don't forget. June 9th? Oh my god. This is another reason why I love doing horror games. I mean, because I don't play with a face cam, and I don't think I ever will, but the expression in the hands is so much better. Okay, this room's kind of cool. Oh, look at the way the shadows dance across the walls. Leading my eye to some unconventional artwork, possibly made by our daughter. Hey, that was my shelf before I cleaned it the other day. Looks like we're making something of a choice here. Paintings stacked up against this door, darkness here. Ooh. I'm sorry, I spend so much time just taking in the ambiance. This is a gorgeous game. Wait. Really? Neither of these are something? Well, there must be something somewhere here, right? Can we slide the... Look at that! We can actually climb the ladder! That is so cool! Hang on. It's a little bit awkward, though. Huh. Alright, down we go. That mechanic is actually in the game. I wonder if we'll have to do it later. Whatever that sound is, it sounds like it's being reversed. Dancing with the devil. Oh, hey, there's something here. Dear Sir, if I am to be honest, I can't say your letter was unexpected. Numerous colleagues have informed me that you had previously sought their advice in this matter, and while it is perfectly understandable for a patient to demand a second opinion, I would think 16 concurring opinions would be enough. Still, out of respect for you and your wife, I have examined the case thoroughly, and I have to concur with my colleagues. Involuntary muscle spasms are not uncommon with patients who have suffered burns as severe as your wife did. What you refer to as a freakish grin or an unnerving yelp, though many would find such expressions hurtful, could indeed be manifestations of nerve damage. The other symptoms you mentioned do not seem to be physiological, but rather purely psychological in nature. Traumatic events can lead to severe stress, and that is nothing to be ashamed of. As to your demand that we fix your wife, you have to understand that what she went through cannot be undone with one simple procedure. It is a long, arduous process that will require all your strength and support. Please feel free to contact me or my colleagues should you wish to discuss a long-term rehabilitation program. See, the thing is, it can sound, at first, at a glance, like you're really pulling hard for your wife, but really what you want is, well, your part of her back. Is that a phone ringing in reverse? Yep, we are definitely getting through the Silent Hill PT inspirations here. A balcony, a ringing phone. You know, I could have gathered that was going to happen. Now, you mentioned psychological symptoms. Could that be the manifestations of her taking out the resentment? Hello? We're really not picking you up right now. is the same thing. Maybe I need to go backwards. Maybe that's what you're telling me.
Yes, speaking.
Did you throw it down there in a rage? After what you had heard?
Yes, speaking.
Hello? Hello? Yes, speaking. What? What fire? Oh, God. Is she... Which hospital? I'm on my way.
No, not in a rage, in terror. And there it is again. Just making sure. Okay. If we're to come back here, then I will check once more. Restless memories. Wait. Oh, okay. Those are the broken table legs. I actually thought there might be somebody lying there. I am probably going to have to visually edit this a little bit. I've looked at the footage of the first one, and it might be a little low on contrast. It works really well in-game, but it might make some things hard to see otherwise, especially after compression. Oh my god! Oh my god! Holy Christ. You still there? You really have become the monster. This won't turn on. I can't read that. Shattered thoughts. If I could reach that fork. There's gonna be a lot of back and forth here, huh? This ain't gonna work. Will these bottles actually break? Huh. I have to say, like, the VR controls in this game are actually better than some dedicated VR games, which is crazy. Like, things throw the way you expect them to. Opening doors, which is annoying in some games, actually works really well here. Now it's just a question of how do we right this wrong? I thought that might work. Like, look, if I want to push the door aside, there's momentum. They actually put care into this conversion. That was a magic trick. Flapping horror. Be quiet. Constantly flapping. Eating other rats? Huh. All these scribblings, they all reference rodents and rats. Even the drawing of the prosthetic. Hang on. Okay, we've got some cool shades that we can't take out. Nothing down here. But, hey, they had somebody in the art department making a whole lot of drawer assets. What about this stuff? Lots of alcohol everywhere. Wait, medals? Like war medals? That's kind of strange. My character doesn't seem the type, but maybe a relative? Something's flying around up there. Also, I had forgotten to turn streamer mode back on, and it's actually a good thing that somebody messaged me right then, because otherwise I would have noticed that I had the wrong settings enabled. Been recording out of one eye this whole time. Oh no, it's just... it's that thing. Go... Okay, just don't let me pick that up. I thought something was flying! Okay. Point taken, red light. It's like the room is mirrored. But just as we were about to have the opportunity to see you, that happens. Hope is the mind killer. Thought it was fear. But then again, I guess fear is kind of the driving force around this place. I love being able to manually operate this old elevator. Okay, we went up last time, so let's go down this time. Guess that's not an option. Oh, well, also we should probably close this, right? No? There we go. So it's one way at a time. Maybe we have a choice. Is there something on top of us just now? Abandon hope while you can. Wait, so does that mean that later on something will give me more hope? Just trying to be clear. In any case, as your lawyer, I advise you to refrain from any imprudent actions. In other words, don't do anything stupid. We still have a chance of winning this. Believe it or not, I've gotten clients out of deeper crap than this. Just don't make it any worse. Lay low for a while and let me appeal the court order. The social worker definitely has it in for you. We can use that to our advantage. Portray you as a victim of the system. A husband in mourning, a momentary lapse of reason, an overzealous bureaucrat. Trust me, this is our best option. Considering what you've been through lately, I'd say we have a good 50-50 chance of a good outcome. But not if you keep trying to convince everyone that you've gone completely insane. No more outbursts, no more rambling. Better yet, no public appearances whatsoever. You can still get your So, maybe one of our government-appointed helpers here was a victim of our frustrations? The room's bare except for a few smashed empty bottles. Another rat jump scare. Okay, so I guess getting over here is probably our goal then. Whole lot of tight corners you're having me go around. It's a fountain. It's a fountain on the wall. More panda books. Wow, we really like the World Wildlife Foundation. Or the World Wrestling Federation. I figured it might be something other than water. And there's nothing we can do about it either. Yep, doors are always closing behind me here. It's the other way. See, whenever I hear a sound, my instinct is to look behind me, because it makes me think I'm missing something, and then stuff like that happens. Silent floaters. They clog the drains. Fur in the water. No baths for me. No baths for me. All these rodent-based, I guess, symbols of decay. You weren't just sinking, you were falling apart like a corpse in the tub. There's like an alleyway out there that also contains covered furniture. Oh, wait. Huh, how many doors have had that? Okay, well, at least we put the lights on. But is there any reason to come in here? Every once in a while, I also just get stuck. I don't know, maybe it's because of me moving my feet in real life. I don't see anything there. Oh, it is so dark. I just saw a shadow. I don't like this at all. The only reason I can see anything is because of the dust in the air. Third time's the charm, right? But once more, I'm not seeing anything. Body borrowers feeding on me. Driving me insane. Too fast to cut out. We have a dilemma. I always scare myself. I love the sound effect of walking on that. So it's not that way. And it's not that way. And it's not that way. Might be this way. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, that is dizzying. Just gotta keep your face straight, though. Oh, that is dizzying in VR. God. I can't wait to see what this looks like in flat screen, honestly. Just gotta keep my head straight. That's the best thing. And it's over. Basement stairs. What we saw earlier that just descended into darkness. There was nothing physical stopping us from coming down here, but it still didn't seem like a good idea at the time. Okay, thought that was a person. I believe it is, in fact, a tall grandfather clock. The table's set out. Sort of. Hey, there's something up there. Patient, thirsty, dangling dead, furry, something, afraid to look up. Furry locusts, maybe? Oh my... You know when you're reading something and in the last moment you realize, like, oh no. Now I saw a piano stashed over there. Is there some reason why we would want to do this? Some books over here. Look at that. The coverings are disappearing as we approach. We'll try again. My concert didn't go so well last time. I was worried that might have gotten some attention. I wonder if this is a song we used to dance to. Am I meant to stay? I really wonder if I'm meant to stay.
I needed to remove the flesh from the bone. At first, I was lost as to how, but then I sawed it off with a handsaw, boiled it, then put the bone in a mortar. I had to get one, obviously. This was not something I'd done before. Finally, I mixed the dust with some white paint. It made for a lovely undercoat.
Once more, I shouldn't be surprised, yet here we are. The darkness is somehow darker than before, but we're making our way back. Well, this was a bit less of a commute than other times. And I guess we found a little bit more in the way of these drawings than before. Are we ready to put bone to canvas? This is absolutely horrifying. I mean, to me, it almost looks like a cow or a horse that's been butchered, yet is standing upright on two legs. Either way, the imagery that's used is downright apocalyptic in its coloring and textures. But we've opened up yet another of these cupboards. Look at that. The kitchen, the bedroom, the basement where she played and we danced. All of this is memories of our wife, but always leading back to our work. And actually, when I view it from this angle, I kind of see what looks like a tortured face. Eye, matted hair, a mouth, and a chin. I actually have found that, in this game, you benefit from staring at a work for long enough because now I can't see anything else. Alright. What if you fail? What if I succeed? I have no idea what either of those things entail. Ignore her. I'm trying. Oh, this paint is like oozing from here, or at least that's what it seems like. See, when I'm going through this ironic punishment, it's just going to be a whole bunch of really high volume files all over the walls. In my layers of fear, there's never enough storage. Okay, well, I'm your father, so I'm gonna have to be honest. I find this stuff highly derivative of the stuff I made when I was a kid. A pink pony? Really? Typical. Drunk. Selfish. I just got the achievement for searching 100 drawers and cabinets, so I guess that counts. Also, I've just realized that your house drawing extends to the brickwork. Delirious. Hey there, you. Knives over a small black horse, or maybe a dog? Maybe a dog that looks a lot like a small black horse? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be your worst critic, but you're really giving me no choice. Well, alright, that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. If you were to see me right now, and were I not wearing the headset, you would see my eyes widening.
No, that's not right. Try again. Don't give me that look. What do we do when we fail? We start over. You're better than this. Now sit down, and this time, let's make it perfect.
You were really putting pressure on to follow in our footsteps. Well, it seems she honed her craft maybe better than I ever did. Can I reach up? I can't.
Hey, what is that? Wait, what day is it? It's Sunday? You mean well, why didn't you come and get me? God damn it! You know how I get when I'm caught up in my work.
Let's light all these candles that we can. You know, in the absence of any wall candles like they saw in the last room. It's just where we were before. The paint fell off of it when we picked it up. Oh, a panda bear. That imagery is starting to become meaningful. A drawn-on photo of our pregnant wife. Yeah, I'm looking around. You know, a lot of the time it almost feels like me breaking pace. But well worth it. Oh my god! So are we maybe going to learn a little bit about your fear of vermin? Squeak, squeak, squeak. Huh. Is there something we should know? Of course not. This game has made me so afraid of turning around in every instance. For example, can we go back the way we came? No, in fact, oh, we can. For sale. Baby shoes, never worn.
Sweet Jesus! Did you just buy half of the department store? Honey, you don't even know yet if it's gonna be a boy or a girl.
The painting, the frame, the gallery, all drawn on the wall. Well, I suppose there's merit to that as well. Man in front of a house. Looks tall and scary. Little toys. Hang on. Look at that. You know, if imagery of fires started showing up in her drawings, that would no doubt be incredibly upsetting to us. And maybe we let her know it? Lice, mice, bold, bloody spots. Hair not mine. Where are the scissors? Start to feel them crawling all over us. So much to see, so many different paths. And more of those pink arrows. My vision is distorting as I get close. It's the same note from the workshop. Hang on. What is this? Ah, we have to find the missing checkers pieces. Hang on. Come on. For some reason it's starting to have problems with opening drawers. There's one down there. Oops.
You beat me again. Sometimes I wonder why I even bother. Good thing we didn't bet on it. What? What's so funny?
Wow. Our daughter totally ruined us at checkers. Got the house, got everything. There are so many things we can just walk on by. Maybe learning something depends on engaging. Something, the blueberry bush. Near the blueberry bush? By the Emerald Creek. There once was a duck who was a bit of a freak. Not content to just splash away in the rivers, she liked tearing out hearts and chewing on livers. More medals. And I guess it wasn't just that one contract job that we started letting this stuff bleed over into. Oh, we would be so upset to see this stuff painted over, or in this case, crayoned over. But it's a good thing they're all turned in such a way that we can't see the branding. That was pretty cool. Yeah, you're doing it more than once. That was neat. We can feel it. We can feel it staring at the back of our neck. Now, this painting is interesting to me, and you may not see it, but to me, I can practically see like the lower jaw and teeth, like it's someone sitting in a chair, only the top of their head is gone and they're all overgrown by flowers. Okay, we can take these glasses with us, though they're a little bit foggy. Oh no. Oh no, these are the steamy specks of Four-Eyed Jack. Alright, we'd best leave these here. Oh my! I was gonna make a joke. I thought I was onto your game. Ah, that was so good. You know, very rarely in horror is it good to have, like, easily repeatable or, like, very predictable scares. Or even things that you can see, like, just abruptly transition in front of you. That was, on both counts, fantastic. Like the kind of thing where you turn around not really expecting to see anything. There is, but by the time you register it, it's already back to normal. And then I was going to criticize it for repeating it. I thought it should be a one-and-done deal. But it's just with a false sense of security. Can't light the candelabra. These ones like wilted flowers. I must say, your sense of decor is immaculate. Candles behind the curtains. I like the look. Can't say I'd ever trust it, though. I mean, all this looks very easily combustible, and whether or not something is combustible, one would think would be at the forefront of your mind. I wonder if you got cold toward her. I don't know, maybe you resented her with the state of your wife, or if you were left with only her to care for. And I don't know, maybe you saw her as consuming, destroying everything. Oh no, we can see the brand. It's the squiggle brand. That was a very abrupt cut of the audio there. God, this is one of the only times the glitches in a game have really seemed like glitches. And maybe the fact that it's all happening to my eyes instead of just a screen has something to do with it. I might also genuinely just be breaking things, but hey, it's working, right? Are you hiding? None of you seem to want to look at me. Is there anything for us to pick up? Wow. I was just gonna say, the more you stare, the worse it gets, but no, more of you are appearing. Over and over. And I think we just need to play this out. You're also starting to get around. It's the wheelchair. Huh. Is there some demonic face staring down at us? Fire in its eyes? You know, I only just realized something. I just made the connection. Having that bad leg. The war medals. Oh no. keep trying to follow you. I could go any which way, but if I don't, it's like I don't care, right? Your cries are getting worse. Running down the doll corridors. I think this isn't gonna matter how many times I do this. Just noticed you there. Oh my god. That's really how that ends? Oh my god. Okay. All right. Was this a horror game or what? Oh wait, no, we're still breaking stuff. Oh no, we're back to that. Hang on, wait, no, I screwed it up. It happened again. I'm sorry. I know you're trying to torment me for everything I put you through. I have to go this way. My chest hurts. There's something going on down there, but my chest hurts. These dolls are getting larger and larger. I do not like the way you're moving. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so slow. Oh my god, I'm so slow. Well, we're right back to here. Hang on. We can open these. No. The toy soldier, we saw you earlier. Actually, you were in her bed.
Ow! What is this crap? Oh, I'm sorry, princess. No, don't cry. We'll get you a new one. Or better yet, Daddy's gonna buy you another dolly. So your other dollies can have a new friend.
Now, one thing that I'm not quite sure about is to what extent you actually tried. We know how we came off to our family. We clearly came to give the impression of not caring about them from their perspective, but how overt was that? Like, I would like to see our actual behavior and how we felt, how we actually felt about them in that time. Maybe to an extent that's up to us and our actions here. Everything worth looking at is worth looking at a second time. That's what I'm learning. they just tried to shining us.
I had the most beautiful dream last night. I dreamt he came to me, embraced me, loved me, as he once did. But we both know that while I dreamed my silly little dream, it was you he really lusted for.
So that kind of answers my question, I guess. Assuming that really is the truth. Oh my. What you cooking up there, kiddo? Wow, you are really, really getting into it. Hang on, can Daddy see? Still at it, huh? Wow, you're drawing of a person standing over a black pit. And their head is swirls. We saw something like that actually in a drawing on the wall. Alright, here, you can go back to working on this. I can't even see clearly in this room. It's like a nightmare where for some reason you just cannot get a good look even at something that's right in front of you. Like your mind won't let you perceive it. Probably better that way. Yes. Give up, like always. Her arrows are telling me to turn back. Can I? No, of course not. Locked. That's new for one of these. We need to find a key. Just toys and blocks and crayons. Can we wind up the jack-in-the-box? We can. I don't like the look of that door back there, if I'm being honest. One. Oh, why do you suddenly have a problem with this? More images of the Shadow Man. Though this one doesn't have a swirly head. Even the outside is childlike. Fluffy fakers mocking me, lying still between toys. No toys allowed. Was that another of our little rules? Beer. Okay, there's got to be someplace we can go to find this thing, right? Not in your bed? Wait, what? Okay? thank you. No wonder where she gets it from. Felt more connection with Mommy than with Daddy? And you started to see her as a monster and him as a lunatic. And you were just trapped in the middle. Hush, little baby. The night is stark. Stars fade above you. The room goes dark. Mommy used to come to tuck you in. Oh my God. Now she's nowhere to be seen. That is absolutely tragic. We still don't know what happened to her. Maybe we just lost custody. I'm starting to wonder if she might have maybe suffered some kind of head injury. But either way, whether we were still here or not, she was utterly alone. And the dog painting has changed. Now it's covered in those eyes, sort of like the prosthetic leg drawing.
This was a special brush, like a horsehair brush, but different. At that point, I hesitated. Will this really work? Fuck it. I was already halfway through, and besides, it's not like I can just put it all back and forget the whole thing.
What do you mean? Well, I suppose this is more tame than the other elements that we had received. I mean, really, she was your only parent, since we were rarely present. On losing her, I guess it was like becoming an orphan. Oh my God. Not only is your stuff invading my space is crumbling around me. Well, let's contribute our next piece. You know, all this art actually reminds me of a certain popular artist. And In this case, this one actually reminds me of a live performance I've seen. But I think maybe I'm starting to see what all this is. It's almost like you're building the internals, the viscera, everything beneath, and layering you on top, and creating the layers as you go to form a full person. In order for the portrait to have life, it needs to have everything that makes life work. As time has gone on, I've started to realize that this really is a game about layers in more ways than one. Layers on a painting, layers, I guess, to the dynamic of our family. Because the thing is, it's not necessarily just a villain story. It's complicated, and the way each family member views each other is complicated. Each with their own level of understanding, each with their own place in this, and how it's affected by these changes. This place is starting to feel less and less like a sanctum as time goes on, and maybe that's what we deserve. It may even be what we need. But making our last strokes will have to happen next time. Until then, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.